So we'll bring in Paul Kelly at this stage, our political analyst for The Australian. Paul, you now see the range of issues rolling out there. What do you think in the end Tony Abbott would like to run on?
I think the essence of Tony Abbott, Barry, is his muscular approach to politics. He believes in the politics of causes and crusades. Above all, the message he conveyed over the last 3 to 4 days is, I'm going to be myself. So what we saw Tony Abbott killing off the ETS, saying we should have the guts to have a debate about nuclear power, and saying that he supported individual contracts pre-2005, the pre-work choices type contracts. Now, all these are risky positions, and the Rudd government will try and target Abbott on all this. But Abbott, in turn, is going to target the Labor vote. Abbott's heroes are B.A. Santamaria and John Howard. He's going to target the workers and target the Howard battlers. Much of his attack on the Rudd government will be highly conventional, depicting the Rudd government as a high-spending, high-taxing government in the Whitlam mould. He will run on health in a big way, hold the Rudd government responsible for the conditions of public hospitals across the country. He needs to be careful of two things, that he's not seen to be a moralist who wants to recast policy in relation to abortion and divorce and issues like that, but he also needs to be careful of the economy. Abbott is inexperienced on the economy. He does not have a reputation as an economic reformer, and he's talking now about spending quite a lot of money. Labor will target Abbott on the economy.
And what about at a personal level? They're two very different characters. How do you see that playing out?
This is going to be fascinating, Barry. Look, Kevin Rudd cannot match Tony Abbott as a populist. Abbott is going to stay close to the people. He's going to get real close to the people. That's the way he likes to operate in his personal life, whether it's the surf club or the fire brigade. What I often say about Abbott is that his content is polarising. His personality is engaging and endearing. Now, the Rudd government will come hard at Abbott, saying that he's too risky, he's too raw, he's too extreme. You wouldn't want to take a risk on Abbott as Prime Minister. He shoots from the hip far too much. Abbott, on the other hand, is also going to come very hard at Kevin Rudd. Abbott's going to argue that Kevin Rudd is a narrow, remote Labor Party technician and control freak who wants to impose upon the country complicated policies that don't work. And what he's going to try and do is, I think there's a sense in which the people still don't know Kevin Rudd completely. Abbott will try and fill in the gaps.
And keeping in mind that in Tony Abbott's first week or two, Kevin Rudd goes off now to Copenhagen, and he'll be rubbing shoulders with world leaders. How will all that play out?
Well, look, I mean, the big tactical move this week, of course, was Tony Abbott killing off Kevin Rudd's ETS and provoking Rudd to a double dissolution on climate change, which is an issue that the Labor Party is supposed to own. Now, Abbott's thinking here is that while the public want action on climate change, they don't like the ETS. He's going to hone in on the ETS. He's going to say this doesn't work, it's a disaster, and he will force Kevin Rudd to do what Rudd thought he would never have to do, and that is wage an election campaign in support of his ETS. Now, that's going to be quite hard, I think, for the Prime Minister. On the other hand, the Rudd government will argue that Abbott has no credibility, that he opposes both the ETS and the carbon tax, yet he still wants to achieve the same targets. The other thing we can't overlook, although it mightn't happen, if the United States Senate passed the ETS before the Australian election, then that would leave Abbott, I think, very exposed and looking very vulnerable.
Paul Kelly, thank you.